Celebrity rehab day 28. I don't know, 29. Who fucking cares? Um, I went into therapy today, solo therapy, in a good mood. Just ready to process some things that I already had on my mind, what I kind of wanted to talk about. But there was also a case conference on my case this morning. I had the option to be a part of it. I chose not to because I have no interest in having any direct contact with the WSCC or my case agent. I have a new case agent. I have since my last one got removed from my case for sending my medical information to the wrong person and calling me colored. And I have not had any interest in communicating with anybody from the WSCC since then, so I chose not to be there. But I showed up for my therapy session afterwards, and my therapist had just wanted to talk to me about some things that went on in my case conference, and I was already like, I didn't go to it for a fucking reason. So first is that my time will be extended. I'm going to be here until potentially April 17th. So a week before my birthday. Which, I don't feel any kind of ways about. I feel like since Nala's going to be here soon, it's definitely going to be less lonely for me here. So I think I can handle it. And I think that was the best news about this case conference, which is saying a fucking lot. So basically, my employer wants to have a meeting with me, a conversation with me. I'm just trying to contain my anger. I was vibrating when I was told this. Scheduled for the week of April 6th, potentially April 6th, 7th, 8th. And they just had a couple of things that they wanted to talk to me about. One being like my education credentials, another one being the harassment suit that I'm filing against them and the WSCC, and another being why my benefits got suspended for 2 months last year. And as I was going through all of this stuff with my therapist, and just like I had said all of this during my intake, but I didn't have my intake with this therapist. I had it with a nurse, a psychiatrist, and then a different psychologist. And so this was his first time hearing a lot of the stuff that happened and just talking about what I have fucking gone through for the past year and a half with not only my job, but the WSCC riled me up to the point where I was like vibrating. I think before I just felt so scared while I was going through it. I just felt so scared and powerless, and I didn't know my rights, and I never knew what the fuck was going on. And so there was no place for anger before, but today, as I stand now, I feel nothing but vitriol. And do I want to have to go up against systems of oppression? No, I don't think any fucking Black person wants to have to do that in their lifetime. My parents immigrated to this country so I wouldn't have to face shit like this. But here I am. And I am finally mad about it. I don't even think mad is the word. So actually, let me just get out my binder because I have a feelings wheel on here. And let me find what I'm really looking for. I am exasperated. I am agitated, hostile. I feel rage, contempt. I'm revolted, resentful, and all of the awful feelings. When I had to talk about all of the shit that I went through, I was just like, a normal person would have killed themselves. A normal person would have fucking killed themselves for having to go through all of this shit. Thankfully, I didn't have to go through it alone. For a little bit of time, I did go through it alone just because I didn't know how to talk to anybody about it. Not only did I not know how to talk to anybody about it, because my work had just tried to make it seem like the shit that was going on to me was normal and I should just be able to put up with it, to the point where I got summoned into a meeting, a probationary meeting, for them to talk about, why have you used all of your sick days already? Most people don't. I'm trying not to yell. I'm trying not to yell because y'all didn't do nothing to me. But thinking back on that shit, I'm like, y'all really played in my face. Y'all not only played in my face, you expected me to bend over and take it with no lube. That's what they were expecting of me. That's what was expected of me when I went to that meeting. I think they just thought I would go in there and be like, I'm so sorry, I've used all of my sick days. I'm going to be a better worker, and I'm going to come back here and get called a stupid black nigger monkey every day, and I'm going to show up on time to get called a stupid black nigger monkey and be told that I'm going to be killed because I'm a stupid black nigger monkey. That's what they wanted from me. Little did they fucking know that I actually have people in my life that love me, first of all, and are very knowledgeable. So I'm fucking glad that I've talked about to the people in my life about what I was going through, or you would not be sitting here today listening to me talk. I would have been dead. I would have killed myself. That's how stressful this whole situation has been, and having to recount it today and talk about it and just get ready for this meeting that I'm going to be having. Thankfully, I won't be alone. That's what my therapist kept on reminding me, that we are going to be there with you in this meeting to advocate for you and to talk about how it wasn't psychologically safe for you at any point during this process. And my new caseworker was like, I can admit that this case has been mishandled. Mind you, this motherfucker doesn't know anything that has happened or why he's even been reassigned to my case, I don't think, because nobody talks to each other unless it's to plot against me. My employer doesn't talk to the WSCC unless they're trying to plot some shit to get me back into that racist, unsafe environment. But they have another thing coming to them. They have another thing, because this has just empowered me to take this human rights complaint so motherfucking seriously. I want to watch this city. I'm trying not to have vitriol because my therapist said that I shouldn't go from it. Yes, anger should be present in the room, but I shouldn't let it drive the bus. So I won't let it drive the bus. I am doing this because I am deserving of being protected. And one thing that my job reinforced for me while working with them through all of this is that they don't give a fuck about me. They don't give a fuck about me, and I should have just sucked it up and showed up to work. And back then, I was taking everything on the chin. I wasn't even the one that initially knew that I was allowed to file a complaint. And I know it's not until April 7th, but now I am just on edge because once again, I am going to have to speak to these mongrels, to these troglodytes, about how what they did affected me and why it affected me and why they're so fucking out of line for the way that they've mishandled this case every step of the way. I'm so angry I want to fucking cry. And I think that the city would actually be happy if I just killed myself, because then they wouldn't have to deal with my black ass anymore. So I am going to live in spite of them, to spite them. And once I am done filing this human rights complaint and this privacy complaint, nobody's going to have a job left. Nobody will have a job. Everybody's going to have to look for new employment. I will go public. I will go to every motherfucking news outlet in this country and in the US and anywhere else that I have connections. I don't give a shit. Y'all are going to be sorry that you ever played in my face. I am so goddamn angry. And just having to recount everything over again, and then whenever I talk about what happened, the reactions that I get are what make me be like, oh my God, so what happened to me wasn't okay. Because I come from such a traumatic background, had I not been told that I can file a complaint with the WSEC, I would have just kept showing up to work. Because it's not the worst thing that has happened to me. It's not even close to the worst thing that has happened to me. So I just took it on the chin. And yes, I was showing up late because I didn't want to be there. But I didn't think that I had a good enough reason to not want to be there. So part of me does feel vindicated in the reaction that I've received. And knowing that my wellness team will be there for me and with me during this meeting. I told them, first of all, I better not see that KKK Kathy in that meeting. I don't want her in this motherfucking meeting. She has caused me enough distress. You better find somebody else from HR to talk to me. You better find someone else. They're going to be sorry that they called this meeting. The way I'm about to advocate for myself. And I won't even have to do most of the talking. I know that much, but the way I'm going to... The bitch y'all was messaging for a year and a half is not the same bitch that is here today. The same bitch that has processed her trauma and knows that she matters and knows that she's worthy of a safe environment to work and of protection. That's who y'all are about to face off with. I am going to make this process hell for them the same way they did for me. And everybody's name is getting aired out. Everybody that's been involved in this, there will be no rock left unturned. I'm coming for that ass. Y'all got the right one. The right one. Yup. Because what you weren't counting on is how much I'm loved. That's what you weren't counting on. You thought that I would go through this process alone like so many people before me probably have had to, and they end up giving up. I'm not about to give up. One thing about me, I don't give up. One thing about me, I will ride it until the wheels fall off, and when the wheels fall off, bitch, I'm a snowboard. I'll snowboard when the wheels fall off. So I'm getting prepared for war, for battle, and I'm not alone. So be very afraid. Sarah, I'm coming for you and your job. I promise you that after all is said and done, you won't even be able to work up north. Since I know you probably stalking me, since that's been your MO since I called your ass out. You probably watching this video. So gather your coins and your savings or whatever, because I am going to persecute you with the highest form of the law. You thought that you would be able to do what you did to me, and what? Just get a slap on the wrist? Not around here. Not around these parts. Not around these parts. I'm going to show you why I survived this long after everything I've been through. I will persevere. Oh my God, I'm so... I just need to calm down. This is not what I was expecting today. It is not what I was expecting today, but I'm ready. And I'm about to get back to writing that human rights complaint. And I hope by the end of this year you don't have a job, Sarah. Because the fact that I found out that they put her on another black person's case, sick. I'm repulsed. Fucking racist ass bitch.